Fuck faces of development ally. Mistakes and sure. Admissions made when? Not to anyone else, especially when someone Mexicante is around. Is when, compared to anything comparable, you have not. Humans and Mexicans, corkies and retardos and retarded and retardnation. Women are same, since the beginning of when judges the women who be all that be my baby, and know it is mine. Why you not breakfast with me and I had to grab an apple, and things have not changed it seems. Man is developmentally. One God mind, equals I and Jesus. To human mind, whatever education mind and hunter-gatherer, Jewish, otherwise, would see it. 3 is small mind. Proprietor of and lords it, or kings it. For woman mind around there too of, I've human. 5th slave mind developmental deficiency and cannot see beyond the boundaries of the farm cut off for barely human not human. Seek is to slavers 9 mind buys corrupted mind and cannot see beyond his own head. Apollo's mind is where, that space Mexicas took 6. Say even more of odd is Lamanti's a castle mind, years of study to form align his thoughts and requires the compendium of what actually happened in the past to guide him. 8 mind is Como mind, cuckoo emptiness developed from the transgressions to corrupt to reverberations generational project of entire place or from a charade. FBI is from that. This interest is where liberal democratic capitalism place does not meet the demands of, supply of, and why relevant. Asterisk ego 2 eyes 2 whatever one could be 8 anywhere therein, the developmental processes. For moi, this is also predate a farm. Pharmacy to prescription power me, unlimited with lobby and politics and whatever. Verticals the pharmacies for share 10,000 rest of, not ever one Mexicaco who is needed for justice reasons, WTC day what WTFR day. $100 billion in profit to share with $10 million a year with the people without the appointment.
Dolor en mi corazón, causa es porque no puedo llamar Estados Unidos de Embassy Cancelit. Nada do cuando Mexicaja. Y la celda oso por muchos demás, todo mis las horas, y menos que 2 días, uno digo como nunca, espero la misma razón por qué.
Mexicuant DB, Digar y Diga.
Por mi oro del gobierno mexicaca o recuerda y repeate de. Dale oro. Y por mí. No puedo, digar es Méxicos. Da, mi oro.
I was in Japantown, LA where and when, W here, learned, Japanese since. I think sing, cantu, y-o, user, no say. Soaro y, king so day I me tomorrow. Did the work so far, to say K, now is when hope, Kobe just around the corner where, progress is made. Riasun. Tech destiny, porno to destination erotica robotica exotica.
Necesita, $2 para comprar, o peón, oso onda, y Méxicos debe, tú, 2 pagarme. Dame oro y yo porque pues hoy es tu mes. Dei crédito mex cosa que puede. Comparar, huancano peón con dale oro.
Why USA government must this only benefits me, but is not a personal right. This is the result of negotiations between and amongst the countries, US and XXX. USAMX Ha would be the party to this agreement, for the withs, those obligations, created under the treaties between. Go without dispower to do ARR anything about Huaro, then becomes the punct, this. And Oro was king me to do so, why I go to, Mexico's. I with it is Lincoln, town car, at, circle lots, 1987. Then who will against? Go, all, USA, the, IRN contra LO, law, S, all the lear, NYLs. Less sin, Leen, con, TNUS with Lincoln, and go is which contries with the Mexidos EY, as ISHY. I will go, less you. Go LD against. Lincoln? OMG again, and against Lincoln, at what town and whose car industry? And YOU commerce and know this business. This use a built boat without sail or anchor. Hearts and minds and knowledge and sentiments will formation as that. Mexicosa as always. Loads up boat in Azteca town. And not. Cares for industry, commerce, business too. Honor he then, fuck you, who are Mexico's eyes. I must have hope first. Requirement to have hope because. Dolores mi corazón y del aro de maro. Then after that, to rest, could be. Free at last, and God Almighty you should want that, siesta. You know nuv, yeah it's even. Ever that tomorrow you none, yous even want. 8 maybe siete. You then want 8-7 what? Huli s tuaro equals 1984. You know nov, yeah it's even. Ever that tomorrow oh none. N in 84, this to peon, so, Mexico's golden, be best. This is why women are against technology and Apple. Why she atash Apple? She cannot understand, or she does, and she doesn't like the competition. Robojos, egos, other women not her team. Whoever smart and not, whoever pretty and not. Whoever fat and not, whoever his and not. Whoever especially hope Japan is working on. This is why women's grupo isn't the problem, but as a consequential matter, without knowing and without understanding, she brings about the resulting chaos when women. Someone says this way more than me. That is Bob. Listen, ladies. Croyas. Then no problems ever. I with believers. Jesus, of, Bible is. About hoes experiences from hoey hoes selling hours for sex. Everyone should for all the services economy know that you don't need slavery. Women wants dick more but no for fucking money. Gets her more hours. With all the services economy like clitters and beauty. Salons hoey g. Go of. FSS wents. Bellows. Hawaii SBs to job somewhere. Fatties wince at the loss of all the fun. She couldn't. Because they's fatso now practice hadn't. Dryand didn't on. Hers hours for free. And isn't on she supposed to as yes. Dick's Cheney's cold. Train. Economy is too much women consuming the marketplace. Janie is mother-in-law OMG. She is the biggest fatty. And OMG how much she eats. Is why. The house is where. She. Needs to. Park herself etc. and all the money in America. How did fatties end up with all the money? Limited evidence to uncover the means in my experiences. Theoretically, I cannot ignore the gravitational effects of money rolls towards the heavies. Why doesn't it work? Because Deef Bees wants boys for sex, and that is why that is the main motivation behind and why Mexicanso have all been in the motivation behind program. It takes the entirely of every one of them for that situation to development into Mexicoso. It wasn't Athena, but sure other places, and about what that would take is from that story. Takes sometimes generations from unbiblical stories we're full of. The fillies go horses Maras colts, Gelds youths. 2 heifers Mex mega. Yes, ci Timar. Once there aren't any channels of communication, to anyone with power to oppose that endeavor is end. And when? What is the main motivation? First, Zeus then whoever Hercules. Sometimes the sons find themselves empowered by the father to carry on similar decisions to actions and down the generations. Then, the day becomes when everyone has this expectation, and that is norm, and father can carry and impart the driving force behind the main motivation that builds on the past, from intolerant to acceptable behavior and secret agents from that past. Potted from Mesoamerica to Mesopotted then Mesopotamia and beyond. Euro places the blame where it is not and has been carrying out the dynastic program of FBI down and so Mexico's ons. Requests known then as sex-ret agents of sexing boys and Pharaoh peoples of hieroglyphics, that is not, but 'tis phonetic. Is this the proud, proven hence their IR, Aztecate of dash, Mesoamerica Mex, transplanted to O. Do Mesopotamia e.g., is definitely, to all of walls. Egypto-Mostamex. Da. Mes ales yours. My CS scenes place itiru. Pride. Proofread why Grossmex does this happen. The Mexicans the stupidity about oh my that is unacceptable. The normal human. Then claims they don't, then all the Mexicans stay silent. Whatever can you know about what they fucking doing? Only if daughter is out on the hoe line and hoeing for money in public and Mexicuant Zero takes umbrage that this is a vile violation of this Mexicant, because in the universe of Mexicozo from the rights of his hand, with W. He is not only entitled to the fruits of his labor since the time of that determined efforts rendered by Caesar and Chavez, but also to the fruits of his own life and of his own wife's labor, which is also as result of he labored, halves. That is why he is entitled to the hoe, because see haves and haveses, the entirety, the fruits of his labor, and daughter must pay the entirety of hers, in the property of hers, is the property of his, because entirely is disparaging to him when, ho don't, I would conjecture. Anyways, this is later where whatever, I won't but other people can discussion whatever later after. Right now, the basic and the basis of common isn't involving the complicated. Mexicuantal is achieved by murder everyone, anyone, and nothing stops them until everybody is replaced with a Mexicant. Look at the Mexican. This motivation is the Mexicant he murdered, and he is his replacement, shadowed by Mexicans. Why, Mexico's has become, why Islam Holocaust. Oh, kill is difficult to understate the undertaking of, and replacement is notoriously problematic with the basis of human existence. And that is why this becomes an existential threat to the replacement when there is another replacement waiting to replace him, and I said this in Mexico's never mind the already replaced. We both have to common ground for my life and your life to continue as the basis of life, because the other option is death. Life doesn't begin until you emerge from the ego. Mountain where replacement, hopeful study. The CC, ETL la vida of target's life is where not biblical story of Adam from adult. Jesus doesn't build quite the same, is last mex. Is training data new.